Hey Star Trek fans, Dan Gunther here with my quick reaction and review to the latest episode of Short Treks, The Escape Artist. The Escape Artist was written by Mike McMahon and directed by Rainn Wilson, also starring Rainn Wilson himself as Harry Mudd. So to start out with, I have to say this is the Short Treks episode that I was looking forward to the least. That's not to say I wasn't interested in it at all. I just, of the ones that they announced initially, it was the one that I was the least excited about. If you might remember the addition of Harry Mudd to Discovery back when it was first announced, I wasn't the biggest fan of that idea. Rainn Wilson quickly changed my mind, though, in both of his appearances in Choose Your Pain and Magic to Make the Sanest Man Go Mad. And similarly in this episode, Rainn Wilson has definitely not changed my mind because I already liked him in the role as the character, but this Short Trek episode actually ended up being one of my favorites of the bunch. My absolute favorite is still Calypso. I think that's just a really great episode of science fiction and Star Trek. But this one I would say, oh man, it's hard to say because I also really enjoyed The Brightest Star, but this one is up there as well with both of them. The premise of the story is that Harry has been recently captured by a Tellarite bounty hunter who wants the reward that the Federation has offered for Mudd's capture. Through a series of flashbacks, we see similar situations in which Mudd has found himself before, with a diminutive alien woman bounty hunter, the Klingons, and the Orions. These are, of course, all very humorous scenes, played primarily for laughs, and Rainn Wilson's comedic timing serves the story really well here, as does Mike McMahon's writing. I'm really excited because this episode seems to give us a taste of what Star Trek Lower Decks will be like. As you know, Mike McMahon is the showrunner for that upcoming Star Trek animated series, and he was also a head writer on Rick and Morty. So I feel like we can really use this episode to give us a bit of a taste of what that will be like and the kind of tone that a comedic Star Trek animated series might have. As watchers of this channel will know, I was not the biggest fan of an animated comedic Star Trek series when it was first announced, but I have to say this episode does give me hope because I did really enjoy this. And while I don't think it will be my favorite Star Trek series, I think it could be a lot of fun, and I think that Mike McMahon's tone will serve it very well. Rainn Wilson, it should be noted, also did direct this episode, which does contribute a lot to how the episode works. There is a surprising twist at the end of the episode that I won't really go into here. I really do urge you to watch this episode and experience that for yourself. I will say, however, there is a nice little nod to a previous Star Trek episode, I, Mudd, in this costume that Rainn Wilson is wearing at one point in this episode. Particular events in the story do make me wonder exactly when this episode is supposed to take place. I'm curious to wonder if it takes place after the TOS episode I'm Mudd, for reasons that are very apparent to those who have watched this particular episode. In fact, Brandon Shea Mutala asked the writer Mike McMahon on Twitter if that were the case. I did check just before editing this video, and unfortunately he has not responded yet. And with that, we are finished with Short Treks before Star Trek Discovery returns on January 17th. Now, unfortunately, to the international viewers outside of the US and Canada, there's still no word on how you can legally watch Short Treks. Unfortunately, nothing has been said by Netflix about airing these. I thought that maybe they might air them all at once as kind of one episode of Discovery in the Netflix lineup, but so far that has not seemed to have come to pass, which is really unfortunate because I think these are really interesting, and we do know from some of the writers talking on social media that some of the elements in these episodes will play a role in season 2 of Discovery. So I think it really is a shame that some people are unable to see them before season 2 starts. That may change. We do still have a little less than 2 weeks now before Discovery airs, but so far, it's been really silent on that front, and that really is unfortunate. However, for those of you out there who did get the opportunity to see The Escape Artist, I want to hear what you thought of it. Leave me your thoughts in the comments. What did you think about that particular twist at the end? Those of you who don't want to be spoiled, maybe don't check out the comments. I've been steering clear of this spoiler. Usually these are spoiler-filled reviews, but this one in particular I thought was a nice little twist that I do want to, kind of preserve the mystery for those of you who haven't seen it yet. Thank you all so much for watching, and thank you especially once again to the Patreon supporters for supporting the channel. Like I said in a previous video, I do have an announcement coming up in an upcoming video. I have some things that I want to put together that I haven't had a chance to do yet, but hopefully that will be coming soon, so stay tuned. I know I'm just teasing you, I'm sorry, but you know, hopefully it's worth the wait. To everyone else, thanks for just liking, watching, sharing, subscribing, and all of that good stuff. Even if you don't do any of that, even just watching, I really do appreciate it. I'll see you all in the next video, and until next time, I hope you enjoy sipping jippers on a beach somewhere.